Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to start class 7th SST Geography, chapter number 2 Inside the Planet Earth, part 1. So, student, in this chapter we will learn about what is there inside the earth. Means the earth contains, what does it contains basically. So earth contains different layers, and all these layers are uh, are in the different in temperature, different in forms. Some layers are in the solid forms, some layers are in the semi liquid forms. So these layers, what it contains and what's its temperature, so everything that is that we will read in this video. So beginning with the topic, that is the earth interior composed of the four layers. It is basically three layers, but the the last layer is divided into two, starting with the first, that is crust, mantle, core, and core is subdivided into outer core and the inner core. Now there you can see a picture of earth representing the different layers. Now the first layer, as you can see, it is a crust. Then the next layer is known as mantle. The another layer is known as core, or the core is divided into outer core and the inner core. As you can see, the outer core is in the liquid form and the inner core is in the solid form. Now you can see also there is a layer that is also known as asthenosphere. The layer that you can see is the asthenosphere. This is what? Asthenosphere. This layer lies in this zone. This layer lies in this zone. So before understanding the asthenosphere, let us discuss layers one by one. This particular layer, what you are observing, that is the crust. That is the crust. This crust layer is about average, it's about 70 kilometer thick, containing the oceans and the continents. Both are there in the approximately 70 kilometer thickness. This crust layer, just beneath the crust layer, there is one more layer that is known as asthenosphere. This asthenosphere is the layer is in the liquid form. This is in the liquid form. Why it is in liquid form? Because of the mantle. Because the asthenosphere lies in the mantle layer. As you can see, this particular layer comes into the mantle layer. The mantle layer has a concept that everything which is present in the mantle layer, it's in the form of liquid, or we can say semi liquid, because it is not fully liquid or because it is not fully solid. That is why it is known as semi liquid. What is the reason behind everything which is present in mantle is semi liquid? The reason is that because of this particular area, the core contains the highest temperature, and because of that only, with everything which is present in the upper side of the core, that is in the molten form, and because of the heat, it is because of the heat, the mantle contains whatever material, it is because of, it is liquid or semi liquid because of the heat which is present in the inner core. Okay, now this asthenosphere is also semi liquid form. As you can see as you can see this particular layer, what it is the part of crust, it moves it moves on the asthenosphere. Okay, we will see in the next topics how it moves and how it works. Now let us see one by one with the picture, that is this first layer, the crust. Okay, the crust is the outermost layer, which is made up of lightest material, that is rock, soil, and seabed. So basically, the crust is made up of several things, and this crust is divided into two layers, that is the continent crust and the oceanic crust. So how it is divided into continent, into oceanic and the continental crust? Now you can see in the picture, there you can see the oceanic crust. This brown part, this brown part, as you are seeing, it is the oceanic crust, and this particular is known as the continental crust. As you can see, the continental crust is more thicker. The continental crust is more thicker over here. Okay, so that is why the thickness of crust, the continental crust, is approximately 70 kilometer, and the thickness of oceanic crust is about 10 kilometer or 8 kilometer. It's varies from place to place. Now you can see the crust, and the here you can also see the lithosphere. This crust from here to here means this particular whole zone, it contains the solid lithosphere. This solid lithosphere is moving on the plastic asthenosphere that we had already discussed in the previous topic. This plastic and asthenosphere, what is this plastic and asthenosphere? It is in the semi-liquid form. It is in the semi-liquid form, and on this semi-liquid form, all these crust, whether it is a continental crust, whether it is a oceanic crust, they all moves and float. They moves and float on the plastic asthenosphere. As you can see in the water body, if you throw a plank of wood in the water, so what you will observe? You will observe the the wood is floating on the water. So likewise, the asthenosphere considered as a water, it's in a semi-liquid form, and the crust which is present in the present in the on the surface, that is continental crust and the oceanic crust. So these are floating. Let us start. The continental crust. The continental crust is it's thick, and it is made up of it is made up of silica and aluminum. That is why it is also known as Sial. And the oceanic crust is made up of silica and magnesium. The oceanic crust is made up of silica and magnesium. That is why that layer is also known as seema. So the crust is divided into two layers, that is continental crust and the oceanic crust. The continental crust is about 70 kilometer thickness, and the oceanic crust is about 8 to 10 kilometer in thickness. The oceanic crust contains silica and magnesium, that is why it is known as seema, and the continental crust contains silica and aluminum, that is why it is known as Sial. Continents are relatively light blocks floating on high on the upper mantle. Already we had discussed about the asthenosphere. So the continents or the different lithosphere are floating on the upper mantle because of the asthenosphere. The sea floor is made up of basalt and denser rock that presses deeper into the mantle. So sea floor is in the more depth, because you are knowing very well there on the oceanic crust there is water body. There is water body, as we have already seen, and this is the oceanic crust. Now you can see the orange part, the part which you are seeing. This is the oceanic crust. It is also a part of lithosphere. It is also solid. These solid forms are floating on the plastic asthenosphere. These solid forms are floating on the plastic asthenosphere, which is a semi-molten rock. Okay. Now the earth crust, already we had discussed lithosphere. Lithosphere is what? Lithosphere is the layer, as you can see in the picture. This is the lithosphere. This lithosphere is approximately 100 kilometer thick from the top of the Mount Everest to the layer which is present in the present till the plastic asthenosphere. The depth of the lithosphere is about 100 kilometer. This whole 100 kilometer body thickness crust, or we can say the 100 kilometer thick crust, is floating on this asthenosphere, plastic asthenosphere. Okay. The lithosphere sits on the layer of hotter and softer rock in the upper mantle called asthenosphere. The lithosphere is split into large and small slabs of rocks called tectonic plates. So basically, the lithosphere is get divided into several small rocks or slab of rocks, that is known as tectonic plates, which fits together like a jigsaw puzzles. So if you have seen the puzzles game, so what you have observed, the puzzles are get get to be set by the by your brain or by your mind while playing it. So it is contains different pieces of the particular object, so those pieces are get collected. Likewise, the continents were different pieces, but when we put all the continents together, so we will notice that every cut which is present on the different continents, that those cut can be fixed with the another cut which is present in the another continent. So that is why it has been said that it has looked like a jigsaw puzzle. Most large plates contain both continental and the oceanic crust. This now you can see, there you can see there, this is a different color plates, that you can see the bigger plates. Now you can see the Eurasian plate you can see. So this is what that the Eurasian plate contains the water body. This Eurasian plate contains the water body. As you can see, this particular area is water body and this is the land mass. So the bigger plates, now in Africa also you can see this is the land mass and this is the water body. Both are lies on the single plate. So these are different plates. These are different plate. They are known as tectonic plates. That is we are talking about. That is we are talking about the different plates which are floating on the asthenosphere, plastic asthenosphere. Though this whole area is the whole area is a land surface or lithosphere, so it is a solid object, and this solid object is floating on the plastic asthenosphere. Tectonic plates provide evidence of continental movement that support the theory of Pangea. So what is the theory of Pangea? So theory of Pangea is a theory which is presented by the different scientists in which they have introduced that the earlier the earlier continents were together, they all were together, and they were known as the huge landmass. That huge landmass was named as Pangea, but slowly and gradually, because of the plastic asthenosphere, the plates which is present, these slabs, now you can see these slabs were started floating. These slabs were started floating on the plastic asthenosphere, and they get separated from each other. So this is the reason that we have to study about the movement of plates, because the plates moves in the different direction. Plates moves in the different direction, as you can see in the arrow. Some plates are moving towards each other, some plates are moving apart from each other. See, some plates are moving towards each other. Now these plates and this plates are coming towards each other. Now this plate and this plate is moving apart from each other. So this is the movement that we have to read in the next topic. Now there are three different type of motion that is occur between the tectonic plates, that is the transform plate boundary, divergent plate boundary, and the convergent plate boundary. Now you can see in the diagram that the movement of different plates. The first, there you can see the transform plate boundary. There you can see the arrow which is representing, the arrow are moving into the opposite direction. They are slide past which with each other. Now due to that only, the plates or the land mass which is present over here, they can be broke apart. And because of that only, they will do some several activities that we'll see in the next page. Divergent boundary is, there you can see the arrow, they are moving apart from each other. So because of the movement of plates, there is a gap appear, there will be a gap appear. So because of that only, there you can see the mantle the mantle which is containing this solid material or the molten material, they will start erupting, or because of that only there is a chance of volcanic eruption due to this. The next one is convergent boundary. When two plates are coming towards each other, that is the convergent boundary. In this one, the lighter plate gets sink. The lighter plate gets sink, and the heavier plate gets up. So there you can see the continental plate is heavier than the oceanic plate we had already seen, because oceanic plate is about 8 kilometer thick and the continental crust is about 70 kilometer thick. So this is the reason the thicker plate will started moving towards the upside, and the lighter plate is going towards the downside. So this will also lead to the several activities. Now the convergent boundary. The convergent boundary forms the mountain. Example, the European plates, Alps, or the Himalayan mountains. Now you can see there you can see the continental crust. The continental crust here, when the continents, when the different continental crust are together, when they converge, when they converge towards each other, so the heavier plate will get rises up. There you can see the plate is rising, and the lighter plate will be sinking. The lighter plate is going downward and the higher plate is coming upward. Now you can see, because of this process, this particular landmass is getting crinkled. Crinkle means they are getting layered. So because of the layering of these different rocks, they form the mountains. Okay, so this is the example of convergent movement, where you can see the plates are coming towards each other, and because of that the higher plates get rises up and the lighter plates get sink, and because of that only this higher plate forms the high mountains. The next is divergent. As you can see, as we have already discussed, divergent means when the plates moving apart from each other. The plates move apart from each other, that is known as divergent. Okay, there you can see it is a gap. Between the landmass. What happens? The plates move apart from each other. So during that time there is a gap, and this gap is get filled with there is a chances the magma which is present in the mantle, they can erupt, they can start it come out from this particular area. So because of the divergent movement, there is a chance of volcanic eruption, as we have studied in the previous slide, that due to the convergent movement, the mountain will be formed, and in the divergent movements, when the plates come towards each other, there is a chance of forming the volcanic eruption. And when the volcanic eruption will be there, so there will be after cooling down, they will be formed the volcanic mountain. The last one is transform boundary. As you can see, the transform boundary. So transform boundary is a movement where the plates slide past each other. One is going this side and one is going this side. So due to that course of time, there is a chance of plates. There is a chance of breaking of plates that led to the earthquake. And because of that only there is a lot of disastrous things are happening because of the transform movement of the tectonic plates. Now moving towards the next layer, that is the mantle. Mantle is the next layer after the crust. It is about 2900 kilometer thick, and it contains 84% of the earth's volume. The total volume of the earth's, if it is 100, to 84% of the earth volume is contained by mineral. The temperature in the mantle is different. It's about 500 degrees Celsius to the near to the crust, and 4000 degrees Celsius near to the outer core. Primarily it is solid. primarily it is solid, as we have seen in the lithosphere. From the 100 kilometer up to 100 kilometer of depth, the whole mantle is in the solid form. But when we are reaching if in the downside of the mantle, so that because of the temperature of core, which is everything which is present in mantle, it is in the molten form. Hot rocks rises and cooler rocks descends, creating a slow motion current. So what happens, as we have already we are knowing that the hot molecules get rises up, and because of that the place will vacant. So cold molecules will come over the area which is where the hot regions is present. So here also the hot rocks get rises because of the temperature, and that place will vacant, and because of that only the cold rocks will started coming towards the hot region or the core areas. So because of that only it will start it rotating, it will start circling. So because of that only it creates the moving currents in the earth, and because of that moving currents the lithosphere moves, the tectonic plate moves. This mantle contains the magnesium, iron, and aluminum, silicon, and oxygen. So these are the minerals which is found in the mantle. The next layer is the outer core. Outer core is the layer which is it's like a shell of molten iron, which is about 2300 kilometer thick, and it is cooler than the inner core because its temperature is little bit less than the inner core. It's about 4500, and it contains iron, sulfur, and nickel. The next layer is the inner core. This is the center of the earth. It is the deepest layer, and its depth is about 6250 kilometer, and it is the solid ball, or we can say it is the object which it is a layer which contains the iron, sulfur, and nickel. And because of the intense pressure of the earth the the particles which is present in the inner core are in the solid form, as we have already seen in the previous picture that the inner core is in the solid form. It's the earth the its diameter is about 2400 kilometer, and because of the high pressure, and because it is very hot like sun, the temperature of inner core is about 6000 degrees Celsius, nearly 6000 degrees Celsius, which is same as the outer layer of the sun. The outer layer of the sun is also contains the more than that 5000 degrees Celsius. So these are the different layers that we have to read in this topic. The next topic we will cover the different topics, that is the different type of rocks and the minerals. Thank you, students.